Gets the blood pumping even from afar, doesn't it? Italy and England, the national anthems concluded. This is England's team. They're captained consecutively by Jack Lewis after he did the job against Georgia. He's at number 7 today. In the centres, Declan Treacy goes once again for a 3rd consecutive start. He's alongside Will Moore, who wins just his 2nd cap for the under-18s. It is his 1st start in England colours. Outside him, more familiar faces like Charlie Tamani, who's making a 10th appearance in the colours of England under-18, as well as Casper Reeves at fullback, who scored 3 tries in the competition. Italy have made several changes themselves. They are repairing their 9 and 10 combination, though, that was so successful against Spain, Mattia Andretti and Marco Bragagnolo. In the centres, they are captained by Giacomo Falchetto, who cuts a very Tommaso Menoncello-esque figure in the middle for Italy. He runs straight lines, he runs them hard. He is their danger man in the back line. Off the bench, Watts out for the likes of Oscar Harrison, who plays his rugby in Bath in England. He wears 21 but plays for Italy. Italy looking for a clean sweep of wins at this under-18s festival. England aiming to end with 2 wins in a row after narrowly going down to Ireland in their first encounter. A thrilling encounter that one was. And England across the course of this competition have not lacked ambition to play expansively from deep. And they're setting out with that same stall this Saturday afternoon. Seva Batikora, the Loughborough player who scored the opening try against Georgia on Tuesday. At 9 today, Will Baston, Sebra and Sale man who's back in the starting lineup. Big carry from fullback from Alderighi. Andretti, the scrum half in the blue scrum hat. Real consummate player at 9. Archie Guyver has flown in off his wing to make that tackle.
Late tackle. Number 5. Late tackle.
England's Finn Charles, the man who is done for a late tackle. And Italy, as several teams haven't been shy of in this festival, pointing to the posts. Great tackle from Guyver, though, the extra college player. Really making sure that Gianmarco Di Nicola wasn't going anywhere. Well, they beat Scotland in their last match after beating Spain in their first. And Andretti was not perfect from the tee against Spain, but given the number of conversions he had to line up, he was right up there. Just a couple of kicks missed across his 8 or so shots on goal. Strikes it exceptionally well, but it's to the left-hand side of the posts. So England can clear comfortably. And they make the most of that. Andretti off target from the off.
White, take the line, White.
Now Cimino, the hooker, asked to get this set piece moving for Italy. And he finds his man well, but not straight. They are starting without the lock forward pedigree of Simone Invernizzi, who they've started their first 2 matches with Italy.
With a contest. Scrum, right here.
And their head coach Alessandro Lodi, who's having his first under-18 Six Nations Festival this year in charge, has said despite this being the 3rd match, the first 2 matches weren't trials to see who makes this 3rd match starting 15. It's still about development, still about rotation, so even someone like Invernizzi loses out for a starting spot so that Eduardo Bercioli and Cristiano Germano can get starts. But that pack under pressure from England.
Number 1, straight to floor.
England with just the 6 changes, fewer than Italy. for this team. Will Baston and Zach Jones, the new men at 9 and 10. And Zach Jones has made good ground with his first strike of the ball today. Saracens man, 4th appearance for England under-18s. Taken at the back. Taken well, the switch play with Guyver coming in. No space for him to work his magic. Aidan Reid. Casper Wheeler, the hooker. Baston won't get to it. Little knock on the floor from England. Their first chance to get to it with phase play is cut short.
Marking here, last forward. Beat. Better. They need to be locked up and stable. More space.
Ben Allen, the man who's back in the starting jersey at 8. Involved in that phase play. That will have been his error as well, but forced the scrum for Italy. England have not had a problem starting quickly. Neither two of Italy. Two of the sharpest sets of teams right from the off. This England scrum causing a lot of Italian issues right now. Bragagnolo. Off the top and down by Henry Johnson, the number 6 for England. Lewis is in midfield. There's 7 today. Huge man who's already made his senior debut for Northampton Saints and already impressed greatly, so much so that he won the Player of the Month for Northampton in February, whilst he was still turning out for his school, Northampton School for Boys. Italy on the ball here. And stealing it, Bercioli. Times it well, the lock forward. Andretti. He's got a great set of skills, the scrum half, and that's likewise wonderfully done to Di Nicola. Blindside is Leonardo Mancini. Bragagnolo. A lot of space over on the right-hand side if this bounces nicely for Italy. Mersaglio goes after the ball and claims it. He's up again. And England's Charlie Tamani called into defensive duties early on. Refrigeri. Argenton. Andretti, this is Falchetto, the captain. He's a big carry and flicks it along the line. Italy into the corner here. And they'll score with Michele Negri. Falchetto with a classy touch to release the fast feet of Michele Negri. And for the second time in as many matches, Negri on the board for Italy. Well, Falchetto has the touch of Menoncello about him. And that is a classy moment from the captain and outside centre. The scrum hat stays on for Andretti because it's business time and Italy are in business. 7 points to 0 against England. Jones kicks off. And Andretti builds a bridge. Box kicks off the back of it. Guyver, the only one underneath it for England. Taken by Reeves. Devastating runner when Casper Reeves has just a couple of meters of space to work with.
Advantage over for the knock-on.
Baisden with a fizz on the pass, and that's delightfully done. Treacy has got it. Ball back on the inside was only to the Italian Colla. And a high tackle on Italy. England's varying the playbook though. And as so many teams love to have in rugby, England have acronyms to guide themselves around in the Under-18 festival, and their acronym is BAM, B-A-M, ball always moving. And it's why they are a very dangerous attacking threat. And we've seen it across the competition. They can either take it to the line, they move it along at the gain line as well. They're excellent tip passers, the forwards, and that's why we see Treacy taking that opportunity to keep the ball moving. Even though it was an Italian on the inside, they are under these guiding principles to keep the ball moving, and it can be so good to watch. It can be so effective.
Onside.
Andretti loading up Italian forwards. That's knocked on. England were offside, however.
Number 7 offside. And number 1 on the second row. 7 and 1. Shot call.
So Andretti has a second chance now for a penalty shot. And this one far more manageable. It's pretty good conditions this afternoon in Vichy. It's a bit cooler than the 2 previous rounds we've seen. There has been some dampness though today underfoot, but not affecting this encounter as much as it did the previous games. Let's see Andretti on the mark again. So Italy stretch their lead 10 points to 0 against England. Kick goes too long from Jones, too wide as well. And England, for the first time, off to a slow start in the festival. Zach Jones, the Mill Hill fly half and Saracens player.
Stay hold and push, you got to do your best. Mark's here. Inside. Okay, 9 beside me.
This England bench full of players that can replace those that are on the field like for like, or change something up as well. Falchetto, no one can really replace him in Italian ranks, the outside centre.
Okay, time off.
So England could be in a spot of trouble here. And indeed they are. So Jack Lewis, England's captain, sent to the sin bin. Or rather, Charlie Tamani is sent to the sin bin, and Jack Lewis is the man who has to pass the message on. There's Tamani. On his 10th appearance for England Under-18s, he gets an enforced rest for 7 minutes now.
Quicker.
So England without their star man on the wing for the next 7 minutes. And Italy with gaps to exploit, maybe.
Okay, outside right.
Andretti.
No, he's fine. Ball is available.
Refrigeri, try scorer against Scotland. The opening try scorer was Refrigeri. Matteo Sebastiani. Lovely hands here. Falchetto's off and going, and he'll draw. And Negri, in a flash of blue, Italy strike. It's exactly the same combination. And Negri has another. Blagagnolo getting Italy going, and Germano playing link. And with no Charlie Timani on the fields, there was no one to stop Michele Negri. He's no relation to Sebastian, by the way. A loose forward with international senior experience, and so important to the Italian team in recent years when he's fit. But this is a different Negri, different qualities as well. It's actually his 4th try of the tournament, so he draws level with Lucas Hernandez in the try-scoring stakes. It's in off the uprights, and Italy are out of the gates with fire on their heels.
Outside.
Against Spain, Italy were similarly up. And they saw the Spanish comebacks manfully. They scored 2 quick tries to get them right back in the contest. Casper Reeves and his teammates will be looking to do exactly the same. Reeves doesn't get away then. Batikora. Casper Wheeler. He's fought really hard there, the hooker. England just moving it on. Lewis doesn't quite read the ball, and England knock on.
First knock on white, second blue, scrum blue. Wait for the call, okay? Mark's here. No, crouch bind is when you can. You did it before. Let's go. Let's go. Crouch!
So England's gears jamming at the moment. Nothing wrong with the blue machine, though. They are on point in every way.
Feed the ball.
But Mattia Andretti has been done for feeding the scrum.
Blue. Too long. No feed.
Or rather, for not feeding the scrum, excuse me. He took too long to play that in, and England have made so many meters here. That's a beautiful kick from a free kick. So it has to bounce before the touchline, and it does. So massive 50-22, and England will have the ball back.
Try line.
So England, whilst Charlie Timani is still in the bin, with a chance up front, which goes wrong from the off, they knock on. Well, as much as anything, Jonathan Pendlebury England's head coach and the coaching staff in general will not mind at all about the situation we're in here, because it's another chance for these England players to work out how to get through this, to try to develop as a team in difficult situations. This is the festival format, really helps that development side of things. There's, with every team not playing every other, you can't have a champion, of course. It is just about these kind of moments in games and working out what happens next. For England, a problem to solve, no doubt about it. And Italy's challenge, therefore, to try to keep their foot on the pedal. And that'll really help. Kicks downfield like that. And it's like both teams have got a tailwind. Vichy is known for its mineral springs around the city. I don't think it's known for having 4 winds blowing in all directions. We're certainly not at altitude here either. Over the top, Italy ball. Cimino with that. Falchetto overruns his fly half. Andretti. Italian forwards looking at that gain line and licking their lips. And now there's space out wide again. The ball doesn't go. Forward pass from Bragagnolo. They don't come much more forward than that, do they? Italy with a great chance, which they rather missed there. And Tamani comes back to shut down some gaps in defence for England.
Outside. David, hold the metre and a half. Hold the punch, stop. One shot. Let's go seconds. Crouch!
Tieran Andretti and Will Baston. 9 head-to-head. Baston gets it off the back and he's gone. Will Baston looking down the touchline and then seeing more space in behind. Baston testing his speed here. Italy racing back and closing it down. Baston gets a tackle in. England have got the ball back and the advantage.
He's on his feet. Lost 4.
So just the knock on. Will Baston, having made 60 or so meters for his team. Great effort. And then the double effort on that tap tackle on Alderighi.
No, knock on. And then no advantage because he's holding on.
So Henry Johnson requires some treatment, it looks like.
Be okay? Sure.
These festival matches do have a feel as that there's so much time for both teams at any point to get back into any match. There's less time than senior matches, of course. They're 35-minute halves, so it isn't the case, but the way the match is played, it does have the feeling that anything is possible and points can add up very quickly.
Okay, water's off, please.
17-0 is a decent lead for Italy, of course.
It's on to 5.
But for England, it is oh so recoverable. And they know all about that, England themselves. They were 35-10 up in the second half against Georgia. Ended up losing 35-31.
There's your mark left.
In the end, it was really thanks to Max Hooper having got 5 from 5 conversions that saw England win that.
Crouch! Fine! Set! Use it!
Baston. Treacy puts his head down. And the forwards come next. Allen is there. Biko, Italy dive down on the ball.
Back by blue, 5 meters.
But for a 5-metre scrum, so...
This blue player on his feet was fine. He ripped it back over the line.
Was ripped back by Italy.
Mark's here.
Earlier in the day, Spain beat Wales
Okay, let's go.
by a single point, 20 points to 19. We also saw Scotland come through well against Georgia to take their maiden victory in the festival. Baston with another good platform from this English pack. Lewis, the captain, picks and goes. Baston has so many numbers coming on the next wave. Johnson is the man with the ball. Lewis wants it again. He's forced his way over. And he forces his will on Italy. The captain's will. That means the captain's score. And England are go in their final match.
Anywhere here, anywhere in my line.
No problem for Zach Jones. England 7, Italy 17. Big effort from Jack Lewis to take the first carry in that set and then reload for a second. Henry Johnson with the carry in between those two, Lewis. Wilmore, Clifton College player, making his first start for England under-18s, clears the lines. Cimino. Off the top, Italy go exploring. Bercioli. Andretti. Hands from the forwards are good close to the line. Sebastiani, now Andretti again. This is a big slung pass over to the right-hand side. Italy cruising home again. Alessandro Messaglio signs it off. Tracking the pass from Marco Bragagnolo very well. Back row with great hands. And Bragagnolo with a beautiful pass. The Alessandro Express with his second score in the competition. Andretti's done it from distance. 24 points to 7, Italy lead. So England's kickoff goes deep. Will Moore sent after it to do his best. And he keeps Italy in their own 22. England forwards do enough to dislodge the ball. No knock on though from Italy.
Advantage over.
So advantage is played. Reeves at the back. Gives it to Jones. Zach Jones wants to run it himself. Just enough England players with him. The captain Lewis arrives in time. Finn Charles, a Denstone College player, on that carry. Well aimed kick, but no advantage in the eyes of the referee, so we come back, and that's because there was no 50-22 due to it being carried back. Will Baston, though, again showing his kicking skills.
Carried back, no advantage.
Well, France are in the house ahead of their final match against Ireland. It might be just about to start bucketing it down in Vichy.
Seven. He's a kid. Just ask him from. He's only a kid. Okay, inside your hand.
Jones has kicked a touch. Gives England another chance from the set piece, and they'll send it long, send it to the back of the line out, and then peel in with Lewis again on a big hard carry. Ben Allen.
Ball is there.
Casper Wheeler. Real dynamic hooker.
He's on the wrong side.
Played wider here, Treacy, he's knocked it on. Now Italy countering from depth, but with space, and Negri. They run out of road on that flank. Bragagnolo wanting to play this expansively as England get it back. With an advantage as well. And it does start to rain now in Vichy. Henry Johnson.
Okay, ball is lost forward.
Will Baston making sure that
Lost forward first.
no Italian can exchange pleasantries with them. England scrum. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Allen at the back, but Baston wants it. Short line, Treacy had done everything well, but take the ball with him. So Italy scrum. But that kind of late passing close to the gain line has been very successful for England in this festival.
That's the second time after the whistle. Two players are grabbing each other. Second time. There will not be a third. Is that clear? Have a word. Okay. Last time was good. Maintain a better height. Better height. Stay low. Crouch. Fine. Oh. Early. Early. Outside. Outside. Early.
England's over eager. at the scrum, and Italy's free kick. Ragagnolo's kick. Gaiva returns fire, and he's placed that very nicely. Ragagnolo has stopped it from going out.
Keep coming back.
Now that's gone out on the full, say England. But he was inside his 22, so nothing wrong with that. It's an excellent kick.
Hand, other hand. Other hand. Yeah, stay there. Play on.
Short line out from England. Well, they keep it on the floor at least. Lewis.
No. Hey.
Jones just slipping over as he aimed to clear. So England have to tidy it with Henry Johnson, and he was a little isolated. Italy ball. Andretti. Bercioli. Tackling from Batikora. Good line from the open side, Collar. But in that endeavour to break the line, he lost the ball.
One minute. Last time was a free game. Maintain space.
The vibrancy of the first 25 or so minutes has just dropped a little bit by both sides.
Trench. Fine.
But England still with time to do something before the break. But an awfully long way to go.
Straight up, no dominance.
Jones.
Touch.
Kicks to keep it in. Negri. Runs into the England forwards who swallow him up comfortably. Mancini. Stays on his feet, Leonardo Mancini. Andretti doesn't like the look of that first avenue, so finds a new one. Ragagnolo. Lovely hands again from Falchetto. Found its way to Alderighi. And it's still with Italy, still with Di Nicola, and they're overloading this left-hand side, and Falchetto's dancing feet are excellent. Andretti in support. Negri. How much more trouble can he cause England in this half? Andretti to the left-hand side. Falchetto's going to do it again. And Francesco Alderighi scores. And Italy are too hot to handle in this first half in Vichy. It's again the captain, Giacomo Falchetto. And his handling skills are top tier. And once he's dazzled you with his card tricks, there's no one left at home to defend. Alderighi has an open shot at the line. What a first half from Italy.
That's half of my watch. Half time. Yes.
Andretti to take Italy beyond 30 points in 35 minutes. Drifting away after setting off in a good direction. They'll have to be content with just the 4 tries. Italy with a brilliant 35 minutes of play. their best across the whole competition, and there is some competition for that. They lead England in Vichy 29 points to 7. Well, Giacomo Falchetto has been the star of this Italian team this half, and his hands have been on every try. It started like this, flicking it on to Negri. And Negri with a good finish. Had a lot of work to do against Treacy and against Casper Reeves. And he weighs less than both those two England backs, and yet he still somehow found his way to the line. And Falchetto popped up for number 2, as Negri was given an even clearer shot at things by his captain. Pass on from Germani, the number 5, was all it needed to be, because he knew Falchetto was outside him. England scored through their captain, Jack Lewis, to make things 17-7. So much to admire about Italy's next try. Marco Bragagnolo's pass, chief amongst them. Scored in the end by Alessandro Messaglio. And then Giacomo Falchetto said, "I fancy doing the same trick again on you." And he released Alderighi this time. So at half-time, Italy with a very handsome lead, 29 points to 7 over England. England and Italy return to the field for their last 35 minutes of this Under-18 Six Nations Festival. Two very different mission briefs in the second half. England needing to push the agenda, to dial up the risk factor in trying to chase down this Italian lead, which is now 22 points. But it is all experience, and it's experience they haven't had yet in the competition. They've been the early pace setters in both their first two games against Ireland and Georgia, and they've seen themselves pegged back. Now they get a chance to be the hunter and to go after Italy. In that sense, it may be something that Jonathan Pendlebury is glad for ultimately. He'll learn quite a bit about this England team over the next 35 minutes. Zach Jones with the longest wait to get going across the whole festival. England's go after it though in a massive 35 minutes in the Massif Central for them. Italy's clearance kick means England's line out. So just as Zach Jones no doubt planned it. Let's see how this plays out. England to the front, but Italy get it back. So against the head. Reeves. Casper Reeves, he's yet to cut loose in this one. Gets around the first and the second, and he's off now. Reeves in open country. But it comes off the boot in an awkward way for Casper Reeves, but that's the quality he has. Drops a couple of gears, and the first two defenders just can't live with him.
Stop.
Good take at the front by Germano. Reeves has read this well again. They don't want to give him too much ball in this second half. He will lead the fight back. Baston, who had a very good first half, whilst those around him rather struggled, the England 9.
Six. Get down. It's the same as them in the first half. Won't bend at the waist. High tackle. 10.
He didn't get it wrong by a lot, but he got it wrong by enough. Marco Bragagnolo. Now Jones hasn't found the touchline at all, and Messalio gets going. Tackle from Ben Allen, a Wellington College student. Johnson, the Oakham school student, and Guyver. Guyver, the Exeter College player, of course. So England with a good hassle on Italy.
I'll watch it, yeah. Mark's here. Lost forward. Scrum white.
And a hallmark of just how difficult England have found this first half, or rather a sign of it, is that Charlie Tamani hasn't touched the ball yet.
Crouch!
He's been yellow carded.
Fine!
But in attack, he hasn't had any of it.
Set!
They just haven't managed to work it to his wing.
Hold! Use it.
Baston sets this up in the midfield, but England get their lines wrong.
Forward pass.
And Italy will have a scrum for the forward pass.
Outside. Outside.
It's been a mixed bag today of teams that have really clicked and teams that have been off colour. You could say Wales were in that category in their last match. England certainly in that category in this one. And Georgia probably showed up much better in their first two matches than they did in theirs this morning. But there's time for England, that's the good news.
Loose head, straight across.
Jones gets it right this time. And he's put it right on the money here. So England 5 metres away.
Off the line. Off the line. Try line.
Taken in the middle by Biko, and England tread closer and closer. And it's in there. And they're over the line. But it does come back. It'll need another phase. Baston's there, that's smart. The scrum half with the sharpest eyes on the spot to score. Only the referee really for company. No Italians anywhere near him. The best defender for England, for Italy, was Tiani Aloni, the replacement hooker. Almost knocking it out of Baston's hands, but England do the job. It has given Zach Jones maybe the hardest conversion of the whole festival for any team. It's got about 6 inches in from the touchline. Off the left foot. It has gone sailing through. Well, if that's the hardest conversion attempt, that's got to be the best successful kick of the competition. Zach Jones makes it all 7. Italy 27, England 14. Casper Reeves. Bragagnolo.
Blue, 24, go back.
Has hit an England player on the way through, I think.
Inside. White, one, go back.
Jones. Messaglio. Allen comes out of the line to make a good tackle. Andretti, Negri was hit in the moment of scoring. Or rather, excuse me, hit in the moment of kicking. Let's have a look here. It was Bragagnolo hit by Treacy. And rightly so, it was a fair tackle from Declan Treacy, so England get to play from where the ball went out. And this is much nicer from England as they move it from left to right. Guyver, though, doesn't get the kind of ball that he wants.
White.
Andretti. I hardly think he's had a handling error across 3 matches, Mattia Andretti. He's dealt with everything that's come his way off the line out, off the scrum. every pass where it needs to be. Falchetto likewise, another good pass from him. And Italy on that left flank. Pietro Colla. And now Bletta.
No, he's doing the best he can.
Andretti disguises the pass. It's bounced over. Very good take by Biko.
Stop! White.
And Reeves has gone for safety.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, stop the throw. Stop it.
Harry Westlake will come on in the back row.
So, relax. There's something going on.
Biko with the challenge, he's done well again. Jones sends it as far as he can. Taken by Alderighi. Negri bursts right through. Michele Negri on his way to a hat-trick. And the speed of this young Italian winger is off the scale. And he might have just put Italy out of sight. Jones with a kick down Main Street. And Alderighi, knowing he had his jet-heeled winger just outside him. He knows already from the moment he breaks the line he's in. And he sets Andretti up for a comfortable conversion. 36 points to 14 now, Italy. England charge down. It's going to bounce for England here, and they're hitting back straight away. Pressure on the kicker, numbers in the game, and it will come for them. Try scored by number 20, Caden Watson. Bragagnolo's kick was charged down by a reaching Eloni. And then a reaching Harry Westlake it was in the end, excuse me. Westlake in the right position. And Jones can knock one over. So England instantly cancelling out Michele Negri's score. Italy claiming that he knocked it on in the act of scoring, but there was no doubt on that replay that he scored it with pressure and control before it then bounced away. Bragagnolo kicks long. Gaiva. Penalty Italy for holding on to the ball. Archie Gaiva.
White.
Italy's 5-metre line out. And they'll look to turn the screw further on England. Good switch of fulcrum for the rolling maul, but
Number 3, stepping in front. Obstruction.
they gave an obstruction away, and that is an occupational hazard of switching where the pivot is for the rolling maul. Pico, Lewis, taken on by Ben Allen. I think a penalty for Italy not rolling away. That was Matteo Sebastiani at fault.
Not rolling.
And Alberto Cimino.
Stop. 3, 11 and 9 for England. 7 and 2 for Italy. No, 2 for Italy.
So England bring a few different cards to play. Charlie Tamani trots off after 50 minutes, and unfortunately for England and for the competition, we haven't seen him with ball in hand enough today. Archie Guy has had a few more opportunities, but nothing too concrete. England attacking down the blind side and using Sonny Good's kicking skills. Who's there? It's Michele Negri setting Italy up to attack from deep, and this is beautiful hands. Messalia. Wilmore on the tackle. Andretti. A couple of England and Italian players down. Great offloading this from Italy, and they are breaking free again. And England are on high alert. Tap down, penalty, and it could be worse for England. It is worse. Zach Jones sent to the sin bin for the next 7 minutes.
Mark here, he said. Hey, Mark's here, back 10. Shot called.
They're not taking any risks, Italy. They want to hammer this advantage home and be doubly sure that this one goes their way. Good hands here from Leon Bletta, and it was going to get back to Bletta. Jones had it, I think it's fair to say, cynically in the way. No attempt to try to catch that in truth. Andretti racking up the points. Take Italy to an 18-point lead over England, which he will. Italy leading England 39-21 with under 20 minutes to play. England go after the restart, and they've won it back. And the new men can get involved now. Ben Smith and Sonny Good. Jack Lewis. Making sure that he's to the fore. Italy have pinched it on the floor. Argenton this time. He's a big carrier. And he's good on the floor as well. Andretti to Germano, who went straight to the floor. Preparing their exit, Italy. But he risked that rather, Germano, by not staying on his feet. Still, Italy can clear their lines. Elone's line-out down to Good and into the midfield with Hewitt. Good. Reeves, he's off and going. Burst through the Italian line, but he doesn't take it with him. Messalio has gone. Andretti, always where he needs to be. And they're stretching the play again. Falchetto. The draw and give is good. Negri likewise holds up the space. Ferrazzi. Andretti. Simone Pei. Jack Lewis almost stealing it on the floor. But Agagnolo, lovely pass to Invenizzi, who offloads it. Argenton, he's difficult to stop. Italy arrived to support him. Andretti, of course, is there. Now this is knocked on by England. And a penalty try. And Italy, if there was any doubt now, are going to be finishing with 3 Ws.
22.
And this one, the biggest one, against England. England down to 13 men. Sonny Good is off. Argenton was manhandled to the floor. That was fine. But Good, although he, I'm sure, had ideas of taking that and running the length, in the end, it was an easy decision for the referee to make. Penalty try. England down to 13 with 15 minutes to play and a massive points gap. 46 points to 21. Now, we talked about development and the different...
You have 2 players in the mid who are captain, set the example. Yes.
and the different opportunities that that presents when players are in troublesome situations like England are in now. So not only will England
Offside, 7 white.
have to
No.
try to find a way through this period, but Italy too, because it very much feels with a 25-point gap that the contest is won. But how do they keep their pressure up? How do they maintain their quality? When already the prospect of the biggest win of the week is upon them. Ricardo Sanchez comes into play. Andretti, good feet from the 9. Everything he does is with an extra half a second of time about it.
It's your own player. No, don't go in, don't go in. Leave it, leave it.
Seemed to play with his own hourglass stuffed down his sock.
21.
Can just slow things down when he wants to, speed things up when he prefers.
21. What's wrong?
Bragagnolo. And we'll see how Italy try to turn the screw further on England.
Okay, sub, that's fine. England 15. England 15, substitution.
So both England's 9 and 10 are yellow carded.
15.
The pack's okay
He's gone. Okay.
in terms of its staffing, but the back line is short. Simone Pei. He licks his lips and joins the fray, Pei. And sees this heading off in a good direction for him. He'll pick off the back. Went a little bit early. Ben Smith swallowed him up. Andretti is going. And the Italian forwards will need to take this on now. Andretti buried under a mass of Italian bodies. Now he's back on his feet. And he wants the backs to have a go at this. So he's got out his pickaxe and digs it out. Away to the backs they go. Falchetto's hit a hard line. He gets up again. But England's tackling is good. And their resilience even better. And Falchetto, who's been so devastating with ball in hand, gives away the penalty for second movement. A double movement as he tried to score. Ollie Hewitt therefore kicks to touch.
Card return. Now we play.
Max Hooper on for England because they need someone to steer the ship with Jones on the bench. Andretti fires that a little unsympathetically this time into Adam Hajraoui's midriff. And Hajraoui's first touch in the match is to knock it on. Starting number 8 against Spain, Adam Hajraoui. Good carrier, very strong in the carry. A couple of other Italian players who haven't had as much time on the pitch as they would like. Ernesto Martinez wears 22. Mattia Andretti rounds off 3 very well contested performances from himself. Highly intelligent player. Fully committed. Quality operator that Italy are bringing through. He doesn't look 18, let alone play like an 18-year-old. He's so composed. Archie Guyver's playing scrum half for England. And Allen makes the most he can of that. England penalty. Max Hooper, who's kicking from the tee, won England the match against Georgia. He went 5 from 5. And those points ended up being the difference between England and Georgia in round 2. Lewis doesn't find the right on-rushing England player. Bosanko has to tidy up. Ben Smith arriving at that ruck to ensure it's England ball. Out on the full from the English. So Italian ball, and again, more trouble afoot. But back comes Sonny Good. So Hooper has come on for Jones as a permanent replacement for the final 8 minutes. No challenge for England. But Italy, the architects of their own demise. Good. He's had 7 minutes to think about things and he wants to get moving. Matteo, or Edoardo Vallerini, excuse me. England have pinched it off Vallerini on the floor.
It's 58, you've got all your players back.
So Hendro Hatting, Jeremy Keys, as well as Caden Watson are on the park. Overthrow from Italy, but still it comes back on their side. Bragagnolo has seen a lot of space down here. Ollie Hewitt goes back for England. It is going to go too far, and Hewitt casually touches it down for an England dropout.
Use the five. Stay behind.
Bragagnolo with the drop kick. The fly half has set his sights on a three-pointer. And it's not quite the kick he was hoping it to be.
Behind the kicker, please. Let's go, 10.
Goodness me. That's the best 50-22 of the lot. Eduardo Vallerini with a screamer. Kept it low, skidded across the turf. Zero chance that anyone in English colours was getting in the way of that. And Italy have the line out from it. 5 minutes to play, and they are eyeing up 50 points.
No, I'm happy. He's come through the middle.
Oscar Harrison, the scrum half on for Italy. And we'll get the ball back.
Take it in, not use. Mark's here.
Sonny Good to Hooper. Taken by Guyver. He's going. And he puts Hewitt in the chase. The bounce for Ernesto Martinez is well read. Oscar Harrison. Hadjraoui.
Stay outside. Use it.
Harrison's box kick. Taken by Hewitt. And this is inviting Italy forward. Bragagnolo. He's kicked brilliantly today. Hooper. Good line. England on the counter with Goods. And Sonny Good is still going. Support for Good on the inside. Maria Bennett, the man to get with him. And then Lewis clatters through. And England's come hunting for the first time in a long time. Hendro Hatting. Good.
Offside, 17.
Elone. And Good with the crossfield kick. English numbers out here. Guyver is the man to take it. Archie Guyver goes and scores and gets what England needed, and how they needed that.
17 offside. 17 offside.
Guyver with his second score in as many matches. He's lived off scraps today, but he still crosses the whitewash. Sonny Good's crossfield kick was right on the money. Michele Negri gets outdone for the first time today. Hooper. Can't add the extras, so Italy lead England 46 points to 26. Very nicely done this by Guyver.
Let's go. Time is on, let's go.
Hewitt takes it at the back and swerves around the first Italian defender, Matteo Rossi. Good. Slings it over. Taken by Rio Bennett. England penalty.
You're okay, 24, 21 must roll.
Seconds remaining now, really, for England to try to get something else.
Drop the ball.
But they'll play this as long as they're allowed to. They are certainly not done yet. Italy, as soon as they get their hands on the ball, will want to start the celebrations for making it 3 wins out of 3.
My line, blue.
England wanting to end with their say on the matter. Good. Taken by Italy, however. Hadjraoui. Italy advantage.
No advantage coming, slow rook. Lost forward.
It will be time for the scrum.
Number 10, 10 blue sub. Number 10 blue. Yes.
So Marco Bragagnolo's day is done just before the curtain comes down. A great performance from him today.
Time on. On forward.
And these are great times for Italian rugby. After their seniors beating England in the Six Nations, the under-18s doing likewise. The under-20s lost to England. And of course, we've got the Women's Six Nations going on currently, so we'll see how England fare against Italy in that one. But after this result, it'll be 2 victories to 1.
Stop, that's the 6th person and that's the time. Relax. I'll let you know when it's on. Play.
So they can't kick it to touch just yet, Italy. Harrison. He's put himself about today well, Sebastiani, the number 8.
Same as blue. Use it. He's injured. Time off. Injured player.
So an injury to an England player gives the referee reason to stop. Must have been of serious nature.
Now just 1 minute when the clock turns back on. 1 minute.
So we'll have 1 minute to play.
60 seconds when the time goes back on.
Our clock is a guide.
Yeah, they're in possession, so
We
they're strong.
can't sync it to the referees exactly, so we have to try and stop it at the same time that they're stopping the match, and it does lead to a discrepancy at the end of 70 minutes or so. But nothing that England can do to affect this now, really. Maybe reduce the deficit.
You want to be rewarded, just paint me the right picture. That's it.
The last throws of the Under-18s Festival. 3 matches of 70 minutes each in 8 days. It's a brutal campaign as well, especially when the intensity of each encounter is so high. Coming at the end of school season for these players, and of course the next-gen leagues and academy matches that they played in for their clubs. It's an awful lot of rugby that's in the legs already.
18. That's time.
But a rest is on the horizon, and a party is on the horizon. Whatever the Azzurri can do, the Azzarini can do even better. They've beaten England by 20 points in Vichy. 46 points to 26. Italy's Under-18s round out this festival undefeated. And it wasn't England's day today. They never quite clicked into gear. After 2 good performances in their first 2 encounters against Ireland and Georgia, this one just felt a little bit lackluster. But they were put to the sword by a team who played so well today. And they'll take learnings from it. England will have progressed so much across this week, as well as Italy. But over the last 70 minutes, it's been Italy's time. 46 points to 26, they've beaten England. And so many quality tries that they scored in doing so. Giacomo Falchetto, the difference maker for much of the first half, here releasing Michele Negri for the first score. One of Negri's 3 tries on the day. And then the hands from Germano to Falchetto and Negri again. England's captain Jack Lewis ensured that they resisted Italy as best they could in the first half. But it was very difficult to stop Italy. In the mood they were in, Sebastiani with a good carry and Bragagnolo with a lovely pass to Messaglio.